Okay. Well, let me try this. Hello, Edward. But you're not going to be able to make it. My videos are first or second impressions. This is the one in the rain. And I've got a similar one to this when it wasn't raining with a different camera. But we're getting close to the end. So I like to kind of start at the front door and then work counterclockwise around. Our poly has some holes in it. Oh, there's one right there that I didn't spray paint. Okay, that's our vapor barrier. I'm going to come over here. Our pocket's not lined up, so concrete's going to get off down into that. And then they've added these sleeves. We're going to talk about that a couple times today. Slide up. Now on the pocket, that's where all the pressure, about 5,000 pounds. We put a big machine on here and wrenches it down. And on over here. At the other end of our pockets, we have ends. Now when we start pulling that direction away from our ends, our cable's going to be exposed. We need to have these little splices. It looks like somebody got their instructions backwards or something, but we need to have that sheathing installed on the ends, not just the pockets. I mean, once the sheathing is spliced on like that, then you can add some tape or something, but you do not add tape to the bare cables. But it wouldn't hurt to put some tape on our ends right there. These two not so bad, even though I have paint on them, but these two are not level. So when they get pulled, the pockets are not going to hold them level, and it's because of bend in the cable and unnecessary stress right there. This is a good pillow. Cushion, excuse me. They're called cushions. See the way it's wrapped? See the way this is wrapped? See the way this is wrapped? We're going to get to this in a minute. We're going to get to this when we get over there. Come back to this. Revisit the conversation. Anytime plumbing comes up through a slab foundation and through your poly, okay, it should have sleeves drop down over it so that it can move through the concrete. The way it's set up now, the concrete's going to bind to the pipes, and as things move, the pipes, there's not going to be any relief. We need relief arches on our piping coming up through here. And then when they've done this, they've also created big old hairy gaps in our poly. You don't want big old hairy gaps in our poly. I don't want big old hairy gaps in my poly. You want big old hairy gaps in your poly? Big old hairy gaps. We don't have relief sleeves. Don't have a relief sleeve. Now I think the engineer was out here and he called attention to this cable that was too close to that pipe, and I put a chair on it. But I don't know what to do with these pipes. See the way these are coming out? See how close they are to the foundation perimeter? I don't know what the answer to that is, besides, you know, I'm not an engineer. Engineer can tell you. Engineer can tell you, bud, let it go. And we can let it go. I'm not a proud man. You know, or the engineer could say we need to do something different. Like I can't engineer a fix for that. I just know that they're too close. Holes in our poly. I don't want them. Holes in our poly. We don't have the sleeves. You know, second verse, same as the first. There's going to be a lot of redundancy here. Holes in our poly. I'm going counterclockwise. This is the primary bedroom area. No sleeves, holes in our poly. This corner is crushed. The cushion is crushed. That's why that big orange rectangle is there. Poly. Then all these are crooked. This one only has one nail in it. That one only has one nail in it. And that one's crooked. This one's pretty straight. When the concrete dries around it, it'll be in there as an anchor. These are anchors. Okay, but we need good solid anchors. Okay, see the way these are all crooked down here? These two, the one on top looks okay. Those two, yeah. And over here, those anchors, they look straight to you. They don't look straight to me. They don't look like they're properly installed. And of course we can see our bare cable, and that's on the anchors. And we've got exposed cable, exposed cable, exposed cable, holes in our poly, exposed cable. Crooked anchors, holes in our poly. Now here, every other rebar has to be tied. You could tie every one, but every other rebar should be tied. We're missing one right there. My buddy Chark had talked that out. I was over here talking. I said, I don't know if all of them need to be tied or not. Every other one's tied. And Chark was going like, well, there's three that aren't tied right there. I'm like, dang. Okay. Good man. You know? This cushion is collapsing right here on just past the northwest corner of the patio area. This cushion's collapsing. He's some of that orange paint. Sleeves and seals. Sleeve and seal. All of our trenches are nice, deep, wide. Good job on the trenches. Good job on wrapping most of the cushions. Good job on the tension cable placement. We need a sleeve. There's our poly. No. That should be sealed up. I'm trying to figure out why we've got the orange paint here. Here and here. Read the engineering report. Sleeves, seal the cushions. Okay, our poly's all compromised over here. We do not have sleeves. This is main water, where the water comes in. Moving into the garage, it's our poly again. By the way, that's the patio. That corner is the lowest spot of the foundation. But we also have low spots over here by all the hillbilly home inspection. Okay, by all the plumbing coming out there that's all built out. Okay, we got a low spot right about here in the middle. And the lowest spot is right there. The poly's got a hole in it. This corner of the garage is 1 inch lower than that corner of the garage. Maybe they can float it out with concrete or something to make it right. I just don't want water collecting in the garage over here in this corner. And there are anchors. They're not. I mean, they're all just pointed down. They're not. The anchors are not installed properly. And some of the pockets at the front, I noticed, some of the pockets are not installed properly. How's our lens doing? Our ends aren't held up, and we got exposed cables. And this is supposed to be our UFR, our electric grounding, okay? Electric power's coming in over here, I guess, because we got all that ground cable right there. Or it's coming in here, or whatever, but if this is your UFR rod, that's not bonded very well, okay? Our continuous bonding isn't done right. Something's going on. Those pockets, see where those things are hanging out? Okay, here's where I wanted to come over here. Okay, don't step on the form boards, bud. I have seen some inspector videos. Man, they're just walking all over the form boards and stuff. And ridge beams, and they're doing all that stuff. But I wanted to get from this angle and kind of look down at our cushion. And look, that's all exposed dirt on these two cushions. Both of these cushions on the east side of the south two cushions in the garage. We need more poly going down there. That's not a vapor barrier. That's not done right. Does it look like a vapor barrier to you? It doesn't look like a vapor barrier to me. So we missed that pretty good. Moving on along. We'll get past this. You walk around one of these sites, you feel like you've been walking on a mountain trail. It's pretty good for your calves and your buns. Looks like the rain's quitting, but it's not going to be dry enough for me to get the spray paint back out. We've got a swimming pool that's going on right there. Our gas meter's going to go over there. Our water meter's over there. Our electric meter's going to be over here on the east side of the garage someplace. There is the porta potty. There is the address. There are the blueprints, the drawings. Okay. It's all the site provisions. Okay, each side of this house is farther than 5 feet from the neighbor's house. That was the specification, is no less than 5 feet. And they're both over 5 feet, so we're doing good there. Not going to catch the neighbor's house on fire. More importantly, the neighbor's house isn't going to catch us on fire. I hope not. Have I seen it worse for a pre-pour? I certainly have. In fact, I've rarely seen one that had as few issues as this pre-pour inspection does. So, you know, if I'm going to grade on a curve, you know, I don't grade on curves. If I was going to grade on a curve, you know, you can make your own assumptions there. It looks like we got a little bit of a crushed pillow here, crushed pillow. Cushion. Got a crushed cushion there. Now these are supposed to be eyeball level. And I look across and they are eyeball level. Okay, so that's a good thing. When we come over here, this is the front porch. It's supposed to go down like that.